Hi everyone, welcome to TTG's webinar with Vamoos. I'm Maddie Barber, Special Projects Editor at TTG Media, and I'm joined today by Alistair Luxmoore, who is CEO at Vamoos. Hi Alistair, great to have you here today.
Hiya.
And I'm also joined by Sharon Albin, who is from WAC Travel.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, good afternoon here actually, but there we go. And so today during this webinar, we're going to be giving you a quick introduction to Vamoos. So talk a bit about the platform functionality and what it can do, and also what benefit it has to travel agents. We're also going to look at how Vamoos is working with travel agents and how it plans to develop how it works with you in future. And we're also going to run through a few news updates and developments from Vamoos to find out what's new. And also Sharon's going to be giving us some top tips to using the app from her perspective as well as a user of Vamoos, the app. So Alistair, if I come to you first, can you just tell us what is Vamoos? Who are you and what do you do?
Okay, yeah, no, well, in very simple terms, Vamoos is a travel app, but it's a travel app that's been designed solely to work with the trade, with tour operators and travel agents and their suppliers. So we launched it, I think, 6 years ago now. It was the really simple idea to start with. You know, that plastic wallet, you shove all your bits of paper in when you go traveling. We thought, hey, wouldn't it be good to have all of that info and more on your phone or iPad? So that was the idea, and it's still the core of what we do. But we've obviously added lots to it over the years.
Okay, great. And how can travel agents use the platform and benefit from it? I mean, would it be kind of they use it as a piece of advice to pass on to their customers to use Vamoos, or are there other ways in which they can use the platform?
No, so they have to think. Well, there's two ways they can use to it. One, they have to subscribe to it, and they can then take all the info for the holidays that they're selling to their end users, their travelers, and put it on the app in a simple way. So the travelers got that together with all their branding and marketing messages as well. Or the other way is they work with a tour operator who already uses Vamoos, and then they can just pass that on, those login details from the tour operator onto their client, so they don't have to do any of the work at all. They just pass on the reference codes.
Okay, great. And Sharon, I mean, I believe WAC Travel is a tour operator over in the US. What do you use Vamoos for?
So we have started actually using Vamoos for our clients after they have decided on their proposal, they've booked their trip. We use it as a place to kind of collect all the information that they will need for their upcoming trip, as well as keep a record of, it's a place where they can go for their invoice, for their latest proposal, like the trip that they've agreed to go on with us, their contract. So we use it for that. We have the maps in there. Basically, it's a place for them to go to get all their information that they will need for their trip coming up.
Okay, great. And when did you start using it? So how long have you been using it? And, how did you find out about the platform? What made you want to try it out?
So we started using it, we heard about it about a year ago. We are a member of the Traveler Made network. So is Vamoos. So we saw Vamoos come up in one of their newsletters, one of Traveler Made's newsletters. So we looked into it and we saw it looked like a really great company to work with, a great app. And so we gave them a trial, absolutely loved it, thought it could work very well for our clients. And here we are,
Okay, great. And Alistair, coming back to you, how much detail is there on the platform? I mean, I know there's local information, interactive mapping, kind of weather forecast, that kind of thing. But exactly how much specific detail are we talking here? Can you give me some examples, maybe?
Yes, well, I'll show you a bit of a demo later, but to be honest, there's a lot of detail that comes very simply. So you just put in the location of, say, a hotel someone's staying at. You just literally click on a map on it, and you immediately then get the weather associated with that location, which is done automatically by us, and then you get the maps and all offline, and so you can navigate yourself. So it really is sort of, that's the idea. By putting in one little piece of information like the location of a property or a villa or a hotel, you get all of that information automatically where you want it, right on your device.
Okay, and I think you have like itineraries and live flight alerts on the app as well.
Yeah.
And how are you making sure that they're as up to date as they can be? Everything changes so quickly.
Well, Yes, well, the itinerary is put on by people like Sharon and our other clients, so that's only as accurate as the detail you put in. But on the live flight alerts, that's a great example where all you have to do is put in a flight code, or like a BA059 or whatever, and then we do all the rest. We're on the same system that populates the departure boards at the airport. So if it's accurate on the departure board, it's accurate on Vamoos, and that's great. So you've got your own little mini departure board in the palm of your hand, but it doesn't only work when you get to the airport. It starts from like 24 hours out, giving you reminders, tells you about any delays or changes to your schedule, and it's just on there. And it's really interesting, and it's because it's on there whenever you want to look it up. But you get the alerts just coming through as your device. And we quite often advise our customers, don't even tell your clients about that. And so it comes as like a surprise. Oh, look, there's my flight details. And we think that's really a really nice touch, the way it just sort of gives them a bit of a thrill to know they're being that looked after by the technology and, of course, by their travel agent.
Yeah, of course, that sounds great. And you also mentioned sharing capabilities on your website. And what do you mean by that? And again, how can agents use it?
Well, this is a really new area for us in the last 6 months, and to be honest, this has made the app much more powerful for agents who do a wide variety of trips. And it works in two different ways. The first way is if you're working with a tour operator who's put together the trip, they've now got a facility where they can swap their logo for your logo. So it comes across as the travel agent logo, even if it's been arranged by a ground agent or a tour operator. So that sort of dual branding, we're really pleased with, and can make the travel agents even more proud of it. But now we're taking that sort of sharing to another level, where we are loading really detailed hotel information that's on board, and tell you more about the demo later. That's the Vamoos Connect system. So not only do people get their travel information, but they also get their accommodation information in much more detail than they will have ever seen before.
Okay, and you mentioned earlier Vamoos is available on a subscription basis. Does that come at a cost? Is that priced up?
It is, yes, no, absolutely. The prices are all on our website, but it's around about $1 or $2 per passenger, or £1 or £2 per passenger, depending on the volume you do. So it's done on a sort of per passenger basis. So yes, it's a small price to pay for a really big lift in customer service.
Right, and do you offer any kind of try before you buy opportunities?
Yes, no, of course, absolutely. Well, as Sharon said, they had a go before, and we do that with everyone. In fact, we pretty well insist on it, because we want you to buy into it and be excited about it before you use it, rather than feel you've signed up and now you've got to use it. And particularly at the moment, where not many people are traveling, as I don't need to tell anybody. So anyone who starts on at the moment, they're not going to have to pay for it until people start traveling again. So extended free trial basis. But the important thing about this is, Vamoos doesn't just start, as Sharon said, Vamoos doesn't just start from when people start their trip. It starts from the day they make their booking. So from that point onwards, and that's something I think we do really badly in the travel industry. We spend a lot of time selling and doing quotes and getting them to commit to it. And then as soon as the deposit's paid, that's it. It's, oh, thank you very much. Wait till it's time to go. And this is where we have found, and this was a surprise, I have to say, Vamoos is super powerful, because if you give that to them the minute they book, they've got something already in their hand. They can start planning their trip, look what's in the area, start showing their friends all the photos that they've got. And that part of building the anticipation is, I think, something that Vamoos does uniquely. And we discovered it by mistake. It wasn't a plan, but as soon as we launched those 5 or 6 years ago, we realized we were onto something there. And of course, now people aren't traveling at the moment. What better to do than load the app and see what it is you're going to do when you eventually get to go.
Yeah, okay. And how closely are you currently working with travel agents? I mean, do you have really good relationships with them in the UK, or is it an area that you'd like to work on and work with more travel agents? Or
yeah, no, it's a good question, Maddie, and it's different in different parts of the world. So we work a lot with the travel agents in the US, like Sharon, but in the UK, so far it's been mostly with the tour operators. Some travel agents, they use it brilliantly. I have to say, it's really impressive, and that's why we've launched these systems, these sharing systems, to make it easier and faster for travel agents to do. It's always been very popular with the sort of the specialist tour operators who really go into detail for their individual trips and tours, but more difficult for the travel agents who do a wide variety of travel. Now that's been made a lot simpler and faster, and we've got more plans coming as well on that idea of making it all much simpler for everybody.
Okay, great. And Sharon, do you think that Vamoos has helped you do your job better? And if so, how? And are you able to give any specific examples of when it has helped you, do your job?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a good way to communicate with clients. They have very easy access to whatever information you give them. So, right, at the booking point, they have very easy access to their invoice, their itinerary, some basic information about their trip. The maps actually is a big point for me. It maybe doesn't really seem like it, but I think that the maps function is fantastic because about maybe 2 years ago or so, I kind of spearheaded a project at WAC, and it was to create digital maps for our clients, because prior to that, we had been giving them paper maps. And so we would say, okay, this is where your hotel is, this is where your tour is, you need to walk from here to here, but it's just a paper map. And we're in the age of smartphones and everything. We really wanted to move towards a digital map option for them. So I spent a lot of time researching what was the best thing to do. We finally decided on using Google Maps to create a map. And then we would have to build the map in there, create templates, build a map, export the map as a specific map file, send it to the client. They would have to upload it into a different map app because Google didn't work exactly how we wanted it to. So they would have to upload it there. And then there was no way to edit that map either in case any changes happened. So, and then in addition to all that, of course, I had to train everybody at WAC in how to do that. Develop like instructional materials for within the company, also instructional materials to give to our clients and how to use all this, how to install the map. So there was a lot of stuff happening just with this one piece. And Vamoos kind of like, because this is what they do, it's technology, it's an app, this is what they do. They've kind of like taken all the guesswork out of that and even made it better. They took all the ideas that we had kind of been rolling around and just made it a lot better and easier and seamless for our clients and us as well. So it saves us a lot of time, and time equals money. So it saves us a lot in that regard. And I think that's kind of like, that kind of translates to a lot of different aspects of the app as well.
Okay, great. And it sounds like this app is really multifaceted. I mean, Alistair,
it is great, yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Oh no, it really is. I'm very, very happy that we found it and, that we're using it now.
Yeah. And Alistair, do you have any kind of training opportunities or incentives in the pipeline, or any other kind of plans for ways to work with travel agents closer that's coming up?
Well, no, I think the main thing is, as I say, it's getting everyone, as many people as possible, trying it. If they're, at the moment, if they're not spending so much time on the client trips, this is a fantastic time to try out new technologies, so that you come back stronger than you went into the pandemic. And I think that's a key message. I think that's going to be a real difference between different people over this 12 months or however long it rolls out to be. Those who've just said, oh, okay, well, I'm going to do nothing, I'm going to sit back and wait for the market to restart again. And we know there are plenty of people in travel who are doing that, are saying, look, I'm going to come back stronger than I was before. I'm going to invest in new systems, look at new ways of doing it and getting out there. And it costs nothing to do that with us. We are there to 100% support that, and indeed learn ourselves from people who are able to look at it. And we constantly we don't get all the ideas. We constantly get feedback from people like Sharon and our other clients on our other users on how to make it better. And that's the only way to improve.
Yeah, of course, feedback so valuable in business, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also on the Vamoos website, I noticed that one of the marketing messages is that Vamoos is able to save agents money and help them provide a better service for their clients. Can you explain exactly how you're achieving that kind of aim?
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, I think it is good. I mean, you know, Sharon's just given a great example with the maps, how it saves huge amounts of time and money if you, because you know, the aim with all technology is to simplify it whilst at the same time giving better service. And for me, that service message is so important. And the whole point of travel agents versus, you know, do-it-yourself itineraries or booking using an OTA is the service that you all offer, and you've got to use technology to deliver that service. It's all very well having that knowledge and that expertise and be able to give that advice, but if you know, if a simple click and book system on the website is making it look nicer on your client's phone than you can do, you're missing an opportunity. You're not doing yourself justice. So those are the key messages. Deliver that service, but of course you can't spend hours and hours doing that, because that's too expensive.
Absolutely. Now, I know, Alistair, you mentioned you just launched dual branding earlier. So, Sharon, I just wanted to come over to you and ask, how valuable do you think this addition is, and how are you going to be using this new function going forwards?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's great that that we're able to have our information, our WAC information, right on there, so that our clients know it's from us, they can trust it, and then also moving forward, bringing our different hotel partners in too, I think would be great. It's all about, I think, building trust with clients too, and I think that helps.
Great. And Vamoos Connect, I think this is a new launch for Vamoos as well, is it, Alistair?
Yeah, like about a week ago.
Oh wow, so very new. And can you talk a bit about that and what it is and how it works?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I'll give the demo bit. That's a much easier way than listening to me talk about it. But basically, Vamoos has two products. We have the app that we've had since day one, 5-6 years ago, which is designed for travel agents and tour operators. And then last year, we launched a version for hotels. And the really simple message there, in the same way that the travel agent app is replacing the plastic wallet full of all the bits and bobs, when you arrive at a hotel, you get that directory, usually out of date, that tells you what time the meals are, how you connect to the Wi-Fi, what's available in the spa. And we've put that onto an app as well, a Vamoos for hotels, and that level of information. And you know, we had a bit of a lucky break, I have to say, there, in that we launched it just as the pandemic was taking off. And at the same time, hotels were desperate to get rid of paper from their system. And their challenge was they were having, even if they were open, they were having to constantly update information on what the COVID laws are, what's happening in the facilities around the hotel, their golf facilities or other local restaurants. So our timing was pretty good there, and we got a very fast uptake when we launched that. And now Vamoos Connect, and it's not rocket science, is linking the two together. So that when you book a Vamoos hotel with a Vamoos agent, you get all the information in one go without the agent having to enter anything. I mean, it's a zero-touch function, and just giving customers, giving the clients the info they need without having to put the work in.
Okay, great. So would you like to give us that demo?
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, let me leave it. No, I've got to work the technology, so just give me a minute. Okay, is that?
Yeah, that's showing great.
How's that? Okay then, so let me see. Yes, so we're talking here about the Vamoos Connect. And just before I do that, just to give people a little, I know we've been talking about it, but a little bit more background in how the individual components work. So on the left here, we have a typical Vamoos travel agent or tour operator app, so our travel company version. And on the right, we've got a hotel version. So this is a live hotel in both. It's a trip to South Africa, and it's a hotel in South Africa as well, down on the coast of the Cape Peninsula there. And the first thing you'll notice is on the left one is that there's no branding. It's a your logo here, and that's our sales pitch to everybody out there to say, get the app and put your logo on it. So let's just run through the details quickly. So now just looking at the travel app for a minute, the real engine of it is the summary and the itinerary system. And here you get a simple day-by-day summary of what's going on your holiday. And you can scroll up and down through that, or you can tap on any one of these and go into the actual detail of that day, see what's happening, link to any flights that are live, any activities that you've got planned. So that's the real starting point of it. Now, I'm not going to dive too much in detail because I know I've only got a few minutes, but that'll give you a flavour. And I hope you'll agree straight off, it's so visual. This is not just about giving people the information for their trip. It's about making it really exciting in the way that a brochure does as well. And that's been our aim, to make it not look like a piece of technology, but really bring the holiday, bring the vacation to life on your device. So I'm just going to run through a couple of features. So that's one of them. Another feature we've got, we call our inspirations, and this is a mini brochure built into the app. And this is your chance to say you've got people looking at the device, and not just the person you sold the trip to, but all the members of their party as well. So why not tell them about the other things that you recommend? And you can very simply do a little update of that these are our current top 10 trips at the moment, and we call that our inspiration setting. So really important that the app isn't just for that trip, for that holiday, it's for the next one as well. And then finally, those flight alerts that we were talking about earlier, and they definitely are one of the sexiest angles of it. So you've got all the information for flight. This is the summary screen. You can tap on any one of those and go into more detail. And then, as I say, you get the alerts that come through automatically that tell you about any changes and when the gates are out. So it's all there, absolutely at on your fingertips. So there are literally tens, probably hundreds of different features, but those are just a couple of the ones I'm going to mention now for the travel system. And then looking at the hotel version of it, so very similar look, so people are really familiar with it, but you'd see different icons along the bottom. And here we're showing, for example, the directory, which is the engine room of it. All the information you need. There's a search function, so you can just tap in Wi-Fi or enter spa openings or whatever and see what's available. So that's the engine. And then behind these, there can be videos, there can be there can be PDFs, there can be information about it. So that's the real engine room of the hotel and resort version. But there's much more stuff, and for both, whether it's a hotel or the travel system, you've got the ability to send messages. So you can send little notifications about, a reminder for people to get their currency before they go on their trip, or make sure that they've checked in for their flight. Those can all be sent automatically as a notification, and that's true for the hotel one and the travel version. And if you're sending messages one way, of course, you want to be able to send them back the other way as well. And we launched this specifically for our hoteliers, and this ability to be able to send messages backwards and forwards, and the feedback has just been fantastic. I guess, again, it's coincided with the COVID situation where people are trying to reduce the amount of one-to-one touch, but that ability to send a quick message to the hotel reception or to the bar to say, look, this is what I want, or I'm running late tonight, or is limitless, and all comes to one place. So that's been a real big win for all of our operators. And then for both systems, Maddie, Sharon, I'm very pleased to mention the maps because we're very proud of them. And just here's a sample of them, and they work. They show the different places you're staying, and you can also link to points of interest as well, so you can see the things to do in the area. So on those, that's the screen on the left and the right here. We're very proud that we work very hard to make sure they're offline as well. So even if you want to look at them on the aeroplane, or you lose connection when you're traveling, in this case in the middle of the African bush, you can still access the points that you're looking at, which is a very unique ability. And of course, you can put information behind them so that it links, so that they link together. So yes, and so absolutely, and so on to our newest baby, the Vamoos Connect, where we bring those two systems together, and you can probably imagine it for yourself. But here it is in action. So on the left, we've got the travel app, the app that I was looking before. On the right, we've got one of the hotels. And then by just tapping on the top, you get this little carousel, as we call it, where you can scroll down between the various hotels that you're staying, or go back to your main trip, and so just literally be able to flip from one to the other on the go. And that, having that information before you arrive at your hotel, being able to look, what does the spa offer when you're sitting on the plane on the way over, or when you're sitting when you're at home waiting for the trip to start, has been very powerful, and is definitely our biggest move yet to make Vamoos more accessible and more powerful. And as I keep going on before, but without creating any more work for our operators and our agents. That's the main aim. So yes, so that was our whistle stop Vamoos Connect. But rather than look at it on my screen, it's better to have a play with it yourselves when you've got more time. And the way you do that, it's really simple. You just download the Vamoos app from either onto an Android device or on your Apple device from the App Store. And then you need a code reference, and this is how everybody accesses their details on Vamoos. For this demo version, you put in a user ID of LOB, or letters. And then on the next screen, you'll get the passcode which in this case is SA demo, because it's a South Africa demo, not rocket science. But yeah, definitely put that in, have a play with it. You'll see you'll see how both the hotel version and the travel agent version works on the within the same download. So enjoy. That's it from me.
Great, thanks, Alistair. It looks really, really slick, really easy to use, really intuitive. Would you say that it's, you know, is accessible to all abilities when it comes to technology? I mean, is it kind of as simple as it seemed in your demo?
It really is. I mean, it is just some nice pictures and some simple icons. It's a simple. I got one of my favourite quotes from one of our clients. I think it was a hotel actually. The reason we like Vamoos is because it doesn't look like an app. It feels like a bit of a part of your trip, a part of your vacation, and that's that for me that's exactly what we're trying to achieve with the design. I hate the ones that look like, you know, your email system or and that sort of thing, because that's not what trips and holidays are about. It's about getting you away from all of that. So that's been a very important part of the whole design ethic from the very beginning.
Great. And Sharon, I just wanted to ask you a bit about Vamoos Connect. I mean, if it launched just last week, you might not have had a chance to try it out yet. Have you tried it out yet? Have you used it?
No, not yet, but I'm excited to.
Yeah, as I say, how useful do you think that new function is going to be in future?
I think it could be great. I mean, it's great. You know, as Alistair mentioned, it's great for, you know, drumming up interest in different things before our clients go to whatever location they're going to. It takes, you know, it gives them some agency in that they can do their own research, and they can do their own requests. Like, even like if they have like a pillow menu at the hotel, they can just go and say, I'd like this firm pillow, please. You know. It gives them, it takes some pressure off of us, honestly, just even for the little things that don't seem like much, but they do take time to do. I could see it just taking some pressure off of us in that way.
Wow, yeah, being able to request a pillow from your phone, that's amazing.
My favourite request so far is one of our hotels said, you know, one of the things we got, they didn't know how they would use the messaging, but what we didn't think they would do is use it to order drinks from the croquet lawn, but they do. Which is and that's a great example of using technology, even in the time of pandemic, to increase levels of service in that sense, because there's not often you can say that at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, I love it. And Sharon, would you recommend Vamoos to other agents? You know, agents here in the UK that maybe are new to Vamoos, they haven't heard of it before. Would you recommend they, you know, look into it and you know, potentially sign up?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's been a great choice for us. You know, we spent this year, because we didn't have any bookings at all this year, we spent it kind of updating things. We updated our website, we updated our CRM, we've added Vamoos now. So there's all different kinds of things that we've done to make us work a bit better for when things pick up. And also just a better user experience for our clients too, which we think is a good investment to make for the company. So I think it's definitely worthwhile.
Okay. And do you have any tips and advice for agents that are thinking about using Vamoos?
Well, one, definitely do it. Two, I found that if you find yourself making the same kinds of trips in Vamoos, you can build templates to kind of speed up the process. So, you know, that's a good thing to do, I think. And also that their customer service has actually been great. You know, I've spoken to several different people now with the Vamoos team, and they're very responsive and helpful. So I think that's a good thing to know about too, that you're not alone, I guess, you know?
Yeah, okay, great. And we're just nearing the end now. Alistair, is there anything else that you think travel agents in the UK and Ireland should know about Vamoos right now?
No, I think, you know, for me, it's find a couple of hours, set up an account, have a try with it yourself, and you'll know. That's all you need to know. To be honest, it's how fast and how quickly you can start making it work for yourself. And if that's not right for you, well, then find some other way of, you know, we've really got to get this this customer service licked, and really kick back at the sort of the OTA market and the self-book market by showing off what it is that agents can do so well.
Okay. And Sharon, did you have any final words as a user of Vamoos?
Just that we're, you know, pretty happy with it. You know, I'm glad that we found it. I'm glad that, you know, it's so easy to use. I'm very excited for our clients to, you know, start using it when they travel again. I think it's been a great addition. Yeah.
Brilliant. And Alistair, just quickly, how can agents contact you if they want to find out more? I mean, is it best to go via the website, email, phone number? What kind of details?
Yeah, no, just go. I mean, just go onto the vamoos.com website and then fill out a form, send us an email, or just give us a call. You know, we're UK based, so it's very easy to give us a shout, and we'll hold your hand all the way in terms of setting up and give you the tips and tricks to make it super easy, so you can start wowing those clients.
Yeah, it's been great to hear about Vamoos today. It sounds like a fantastic product, and I'm really glad to be able to be telling agents more about it. So thank you very much.
Great, thanks, Maddie.
Thank you, Sharon, for joining me.
Thank you.
Cheers.
And thank you everyone for watching.